With the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza delivery service coming to us most likely sometime in 2023, there are a lot of fantasies surrounding the idea of the service, particularly what animatronics we will be able to see. And while there is no actual location and therefore not really any animatronics to see, I thought it would be a fun idea to think about what kind of animatronics could or should be referenced on the menu or in some other way. So maybe if Scott somehow sees this, we can not only predict that we'll get a real FNAF in 2023, but also what will be on the menu. And yes, we did predict that we get a real FNAF in 2023, okay? It's true. I did it. So, that's what we're exploring today. Alright, let's do it. And at 10, Glamrock Freddy. Glamrock Freddy is one of the newer Glamrock animatronics in Security Breach, but he instantly made his way into the hearts of thousands, but also made the skeptics come out and others, mainly me. Glamrock Freddy is based off the original Freddy Fazbear, but with an early UK 1970s vibe. Similar to Toy Freddy, he has a top hat, but now with a thin blue stripe just above its brim. He has a microphone on a stand, obviously, because I mean he's the lead singer. Glamrock Freddy, also within the game, is Gregory's protector and is trying to help him survive until 6 AM and escape the Pizzaplex, although he goes about it in horrible ways, but that's aside the point. With the player being able to climb into his stomach, referred to as the birthday cake hatch on the PlayStation blog. And then you can take control of him and, you know, kind of use him as a mech, but not do any fun stuff, but that's aside the point. He was voiced by Kellen Goff, who also voiced Funtime Freddy in Sister Location, Rockstar Foxy, Mr. Hippo, the Funtime Foxy in Ultimate Custom Night, and an unused Bonnie voice from FNAF VR, but I mean, considering how he's the latest Freddy, he kinda needs to be referenced, right? At least in my head. In at 9, the Daycare Attendant. The Daycare Attendant, as it's referred to on the wiki and by other animatronics in game, is actually just the sun drop and moon drop animatronic that we know and should be extremely creeped out by. The Daycare Attendant features a crescent moon-shaped head in its moon form, with half of it colored black to fill in the missing portions where the sun face would be. Its face in moon mode also has a large nose and a grin, coupled with two glowing red eyes, one of which is above the tip of its nose, and its hands are like that same white color as its face with like dark blue fingernails. It also, you know, has two leather wristbands with ribbons on them for some reason, as a nightcap, and just baggy pants. Because of course it does. We all sleep in hammer pants, right? Hammer time. In its sun appearance, it's colored almost entirely of various shades of yellow. It's happy. It's not trying to kill you, but you know what? It's creepy as hell, especially in moon mode. Can you imagine this guy dropping off like your pizza and it's just like you just open the door just as it hits the top of the hour and then he instantly wants to kill you? Or like it's getting dark outside after you've placed your order and you just hope to God that they don't give you the Daycare Attendant as like a delivery robot, or maybe like the face on the actual box. I don't know, that would be funny. It'd be like Russian roulette but with animatronics and pizza. They put a random face for an animatronic on the box, and if you get the moon, you're dead. Or if you get someone evil, you're dead. I don't know. In at 8, Normal Freddy. Freddy was the mascot when the first Freddy Fazbear's opened in 1983. At that time, it was Freddy Fazbear's, and then also Fredbear's Family Diner. But in 1987, he and his original animatronics had fallen into severe disrepair, and Freddy was replaced with his newer counterpart for the improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza called Toy Freddy. After that pizzeria's closing though, as well as the toy animatronics being scrapped, he and the original animatronics were refurbished for the new pizzeria and the events of the first game. However, after the closure of that pizzeria, because you know that's not a red flag at all, he and the animatronics get dismantled by William Afton trying to learn their secrets, and then yeah, we know what happens after that. Either way, Freddy is literally the title character of not only the delivery service, but the series as well. And while he may not have been originally intended to move from the stage unless he ran out of power, he does now. He's the most iconic FNAF animatronic ever. And with like 20 or so variations on his design over the past 8 years, yeah, I expect to see Freddy in some form, okay? Maybe even a toy version, or a toy itself that can just be included with your order, okay? And if he isn't there, I will riot at the local Chuck E. Cheese. And I'm not just talking about the face on the pizza box, that's not good enough. And it's 7, Melted Chocolate Bonnie. Melted Chocolate Bonnie is a variant of Chocolate Bonnie released on April 1st, 2021 in FNAF AR. He's the 4th skin for Bonnie and the first skin of 2021 to be released alone. Melted Chocolate Bonnie looks near identical to Chocolate Bonnie, except he's obviously melting. I mean, like, duh. He also has way more holes than the original Chocolate Bonnie, some of which show more of his endoskeleton. And he's now now a slightly darker shade of brown. But finally, on his upper left arm, lower right arm, and his left hand, various small sprinkles can be seen. It's kind of like those Little Debbie rainbow sprinkle brownies. And even if it reminds me of cherished childhood treats, this thing is still scary. It being melted gives it more of a ruined appearance, like this just shouldn't exist, which adds to the whole creep factor, because I mean, like, it's like a zombie, but like a chocolate zombie, which isn't healthy because it wants you to eat it. But if you take a bite, you'll become a chocolate zombie too. Nevertheless, can you please sell chocolate bonnies that you would like chocolate bunnies that you would just call chocolate bonnies, please? I mean, like, it wouldn't be difficult. You could like vacuum form a mold of like the Funko toy for Bonnie and then just fill it with chocolate and then boom, you're good to go. Like, please make this a thing. I need this in my life. And at 6, Springtrap. We know that Springtrap is William Afton in the suit and not technically an animatronic because of that. However, considering how FNAF 3, the game in which Springtrap was introduced, takes place in 2023, 30 years after the close of the FNAF 1 location in 1997, it would make sense that the real Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, be it a delivery service or not, that is launching most likely in 2023, would include a reference to this animatronic in some fashion. I mean, come on. When something lines up this perfectly, you can't miss an opportunity like it. Especially when you're Scott motherfucking Cawthon. This guy released the second FNAF game exactly 87 days after the first, thinking that the first one would probably fail again. He's not doing this by accident. I am positive that the only reason it got announced this year is because we found it when looking for clues to a FNAF ARG, which didn't exist, okay? Even if it's just like a Springtrap pizza that's like maybe got some burnt cheese and a lot of sauce and then some meat strips on it, I feel like it's kind of required at this point, man. So please, Scott, please do this. Come on. Halfway through into number 5, Toy Chica. You knew I was gonna put this on this list, and you know damn well why, okay? You see, some people both online and in the office think that I have an unhealthy admiration of Toy Chica. But the thing is, Chica's just a vessel for all my jokes because I'm terrible with women, which I don't think is much better, honestly, or much of a surprise. Either way, Toy Chica is a major antagonist and one of the toy animatronics first appearing in FNAF 2. This version is an improved replacement of Chica, like the original one, which is now Withered Chica, or at least in that game is Withered Chica, serving as the backup singer for the newly refurbished Freddy Fazbear's in 1987. And while in the end she did get scrapped due to multiple malfunctions, she will remain in my heart. Okay, I'm just hoping that there is some form of joke about facial recognition or something that you can buy, maybe like Chica's beak or something. Okay, I don't know, it would be funny if there was some form of reference to Chica but also Toy Chica, because like they could explain the line of why would Toy Chica be missing her beak that Scott left in matpat's FNAF theory stream after one of his FNAF 4 theory videos years ago, okay? That would be a nice explanation, because I've been confused ever since. If it's not dream theory, what the f is it? And at 4, Foxy. In the original FNAF game, FNAF 1, Foxy is unique in the way that he will emerge from Pirate's Cove either faster or slower depending on how often you actually open that camera. If you look at it too little, he's gonna come out faster until he's actually left the cove, runs down the West Hall and into the office, and then once he reaches the door, he'll either knock loudly and reduce the power by 1% or kill you. And the amount of power that Foxy takes actually increases by 5% each attack, starting at 1, then going to 6, 11, 16, and so on. After this attack though, he immediately resets to a random position within Pirate's Cove. He can be like ready to go right after. Foxy is the pirate who is like kind of maroon. He wears an eye patch on his face because he's a pirate. He has a hook for his right arm. Foxy he also has like a little bit of his leg. His endoskeleton is showing. He's a pirate and he definitely has scurvy. He also has a kind of a paler belly because like that's how you just draw cartoon animals. Since I mean like I think the way that works is that like that area would typically see less sun, and I think that's why it's lighter. But either way, with Foxy being a fan favorite, it would be a shame not to see him in some capacity in the restaurant. Even if he has his own section or something, or like has his own like Pirate's Cove kind of like thing that you can scroll through, or like I've suggested previously, his own type of pizza, okay? It would be funny. I want to see it. Getting close to the end, in at number 3, the Puppet. The Puppet is an animatronic puppet, obviously, and a major antagonist, but also a good guy in the FNAF series. First appearing as the main antagonist of FNAF 2, but later in the game showing its heroic side, it possibly serves as the prize vendor of the newly refurbished Freddy Fazbear's from 1987. Although it's implied that it was originally from Fredbear's Family Diner, or at least its inspiration was. After the pizzeria was only open for a few short weeks, it was then closed down, but the puppet, unlike the toy animatronics who were scrapped due to malfunctions, this one actually wasn't scrapped, appearing later in the new pizzeria in the first game, kind of. He's in dream cutscenes, and he also appears in posters on the wall. Him not being there can just be due to the fact that Scott hadn't designed the character character yet. And then it also appeared as Lefty in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator FNAF 6. Lefty was also an animatronic intended to capture the puppet because, you know, it was being possessed by the soul of Henry's daughter, Charlotte, and there's a whole other thing. But it's also widely believed and fairly confirmed at this point that Charlotte is William's first victim, meaning that overall they have like the most significance to the story ever. So definitely required if we're going to be having a real life delivery service, okay? I want there to be a prize counter section of the menu, okay? Whether it sells toys or it's just there for a joke, I need it. It's not a want. Okay, this is a need. It is required legally. Penultimately, in at number 2, Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy is the mysterious ghost-like version of Freddy who kind of takes on the form of, you know, a yellow Freddy. He plays a somewhat prominent role in the FNAF series, although his origins are cryptic and unknown, kind of. Many speculate that Crying Child was at one point possessing the animatronic, which would be an easy confirmation to make in this by just sending out some hints on the pizza boxes, you know, like writing something on like under the lid or something like that. On the other hand, though, many also believe that Golden Freddy is possessed by Cassidy, and that Cassidy is also the vengeful spirit, aka the one you should not have killed. Although, in my research, again, it's more likely that Crying Child is the vengeful spirit, although no one wants to believe me, because they won't actually think about it. It makes more sense, okay? Crying Child is vengeful spirit, Cassidy is Golden Freddy. They're two separate things at this point, because you can't possess an animatronic but also a person. How would that work? At least if you're not William Afton, and, you know, a kid. It also makes for a better story. And in all honesty, Cassidy has no significance to the story, or at least less significance than Crying Child. And at this point, Golden Freddy doesn't even really do much story-wise, okay? They're only significant because the fans fell in love with the character because they were so mysterious. The only way that Golden Freddy actually has an impact to the story is because we made them have an impact. But either way, alright, it would still be great to see Golden Freddy in some fashion, okay? Because it means that we might get something to help us figure out literally anything about this character. And I'm going crazy about it, so do it! And finally, in at number 1, staff bots. The Vanity bots, as I call them, or as they're listed on the wiki, the Nightmare on staff bots, bear a same model appearance to their newer counterpart staff bots, except this time they're rusty, they have glowing white eyes, a creepy smile, and, you know, they're possessed by Vanny or controlled by Vanny, something like that. They also have, like, tear streaks, kind of like Nightmare. Anyway, Nightmare on staff bots roles are largely unchanged from the regular staff bots. However, they only appear in the security variant because, you know, like the Nightmare on staff bots are only lethal in the sewers if you fall into the pits, but they also appear in hidden areas and during Vanny's sequence where she disassembles Freddy, and also in the canon ending to the security breach when you go into the place and you get the Afton ending and you go through FNAF 6's pizzeria. But even like not just those bots, but like the actual staff bots that cover the Mega Pizzaplex, I want to see them. It would be hilarious to include in some form on the app, okay? I mean, like, they'd be the ones serving us if we went to the Mega Pizzaplex, right? So it makes sense. I mean, like, this is 2023, so in FNAF terms, we're only about to see Springtrap come back and not actually the Pizzaplex, but it would still be funny to see, okay? Even if timeline-wise in the real world it's unrealistic. But that's the kind of thing that FNAF does, right? Unrealistic timelines? Yeah, I'm triggered. That's all the time we have for today, friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been Sean Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video. Wow, I did that in one. Go me.